Hey guys, we're here with Yousef, who finished top 8 at Toronto Regionals with Tearlaments. It's still alive. How are you liking the deck for the format?
That's amazing. I think it's just a toolbox deck, right?
Awesome. Well, okay. Well, let's get right to the list then.
All right, so my field spanner from Japan.
All right, nice.
Thank
very
you
nice.
to my wife for letting me go there and spending a whole day getting Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And shout out to my wife and all my boys and Mert, Derek, Mad, Darian, who else? Kareem, Ham. Missing anyone? Those are the Yu-Gi boys. All right, so my first 3 cards are the best Tearlament card, Kashira Fenrir.
True.
The reason I play one ulti is because I'm not a rarity fiend like other people. I play 3 because I don't want to play rates off. Droll, right? This card is amazing going second, and it's necessary when you get shifted. You can pass on Fenrir when you get shifted, and you're okay. It's also good, obviously, in the cash matchup going second, and I play a lot of cards to complement that. The next 3, tier cash.
Okay. Pretty standard,
Same thing, standard. We got 3 names.
Yep.
Standard.
Sad.
We got 2 Rhino, 1 LT again, happened to pull it, that's it. I've always heard you need 5 normals, so I got 3 Diviners. I know it's a lot, but making Baron's really good. I don't want to lose to Evenly, I don't want to lose to Eclipse, which you can't Grapha. I just need Omnis, so Diviner is really good for that. And a lot of the time people are imperming this, and then you go into Sprint, so it's fine. We got the standard all 4. We got the King of the Swamp and Poly package. This is extremely underrated going second, especially when you have some good stuff to fuse with in hand, especially when you get the shufflers. I had one person Ash my King of the Swamp to add Poly, which nobody ever's Ash, and that like won them the game because it's actually the most underrated card. I've seen people playing Beast King, the level 4. They say, oh, because you can normal it and do plays like, if you're normaling Beast King or anything like this, you've likely already lost. Sorry, guys. The last monsters are 3 Dark Kaijus. I know people play Gamma Seal. I used to do that. I think that's a bait. The reason why it's a bait is because when you're going first, you don't always want to make Kaleido right away. If you're able to do that, you already have Rukalis or something, you're doing well. And going second, you're Kaijuing them anyway. So going first, and I did this today against a Flute player, is you go normal Rhino when you brick and you have Rhino, usually with Kid Kalos, but you can't do that. Go Rhino, send any name, effect with this in hand, because you went first, it's game 1, otherwise you decide it out, you make Mud Dragon. And what do you do then? Don't worry, I'll show you later. It's gonna come up. You gotta watch to the end of the video. So next, we got Terraforming and 3 field spells. Again, I was playing Raid South before with Drolls in the format. I cut this before, I just put it back in along with Trivia Karma. I was scared of Droll, but you know, you need the consistency. 3 Scream, you always want to see it, and it's lovely to mill. Foolish Burial, standard. And then we got 2 Talents. I don't want to play 3 because sometimes it's dead, and when you draw 2 and they're dead, you just lost the game. This was Fenrir going second against Cash, is you just win. Because you special Fenrir, if they don't banish it right away, you banish their stuff, but you can Tactics take, and then you can make a Rise Heart. If you're wild and play a Rise Heart, you can make Zeus. You can do all those things. So stealing their Fenrir searching is crazy. Hint, hint, I do play Zeus. Last spell is Book of Moon. Okay. It was a 3rd Tactics, but again, I don't want to break on drawing 2 of. Broly's around, so I said, I don't know, I'll get Book of Moon. And it actually came up. I drew it once against Unchained. He had the DDD card. It was really good. I booked it. 2 Sullic, 1 Meta Noise, standard, Trivia Karma. Only drew it once. I lost that game because when you draw it, it sucks. That's the main deck. No Shaddolls, no Heroes, no Super Poly, no Dangers. All of that is bait. Okay, all of that is win more. You're already winning. It's fine. You don't need those cards. You go into Winda and you're saying, I hope they don't have Imperm. And then when you lose, you say to your friends, oh, the guy had Imperm. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, you want to play in a very halal way. You know, it's an honorable way, okay? 1-for-1 trades, you don't floodgate people. You can do it. I used to do it, but then you win or lose based on if they had it, all right? Let's go to the extra deck. Let's see, we got standards. Everybody plays these, everybody plays this, it's great. Don't accidentally make this when you have Sulliak and Scream and you have no other tier names. That's when you cry. Even if you have Kelbeck in your hand, I mean, sorry, it is what it is. Don't make this. You need, your back row. This is secretly a back row deck. Best going second card. I made it first going once just to trigger shufflers in hand, or sorry, millers. Dragon Spelia comes up. Mud Dragon MVP. Any deck that targets, you just make this, and you have no darks. People are always trying to bestial me and look for darks. There's no darks in my deck. It's just really the kaijus and the names. And when you get this out, it's already a water. Don't worry, you don't have to change it. Everything's pretty much a water. Again, once you get Kaleido out, you're already winning. You don't have to worry about it. I did get debarriered, but that's why tier is broken, unlike branded, because you can play other things. So we have Dark, Sprint, and Underworld Goddess. It comes up. All of these come up a lot. Sprint when your level 2 Diviner comes up. Play Baron. Again, you need the Omni Negate. Don't forget Standby Effect. Bring back Diviner. Bring back Fenrir. Bring back whatever you need. And then the XZs. We have the Arise Heart. You can hard make it in a grind game if you have Fenrir and 2-tier cash. It's 100% possible. But again, when people are always activating Shangri-La against me, and I'm laughing when that happens because I hope they shifted me, because just making a Rise Heart does nothing. I'm getting Fenrir and playing 3. I'm making a Rise Heart and I'm slapping a Zeus on it. Zeus also came up when I got debarriered. I made a Time Thief. I activated the effect knowing that they had an Imperm. It was just a bait. I actually didn't want to go through. And then I went battle, attack, made Zeus, cleared board. But I made sure in main phase 2, and before I cleared my board, I set my Scream and my Celiac. The best part is I'm plussing off it. I clear the board and I'm plussing. I don't know. That's just crazy. And then, remember when we had Rhino in Mud Dragon? You make Bahamut Shark.
Oh, no.
Bahamut Shark effect, you make totally awesome. Against certain decks like Flu, Kalos does nothing. Grapha's gonna get chain blocked. You need to hit like the field spell right away with Toad. And that's what happened. They went field spell. You activate Toad. When Toad goes, it sends an Aqua. You can send other names if you had. In this case, I didn't. You send Toad. Toad effect adds back a water. You can add back Tier Cash or Rhino if you want, right? And yeah, that was with the Dark Kaiju. But you know, if you had Gamma Seal, that would be an Aqua to make Kaleido, right? Don't worry, Toad's an Aqua. So when you fuse now, you shuffle back the Toad, and now you have your Aqua anyway for Kaleido Heart, and usually you've won at that point. But if they try to break your board with battle and all that, and you have a Fenrir, you have a few cards, you know what card they're leaving on the board 100% of the time? Bahamut Shark. Okay, and then you go main phase, it still has a material effect, you just bring out Toad again. And then, you know, if you haven't won at that point, you're struggling. So that's the main and the extra. Again, pure tier. We don't want any other things. We don't want to gamble, although it's a gamble deck. But the thing is, if you draw 5 cards in any other deck, you're saying, oh, I have 5 to play with. I want to play with my whole deck. That way I don't have to say I didn't draw it. Don't worry. Go through the whole thing. So what do I fear? Puppet. Puppet's a big fear. So we play 3 Contact C, 3 Ghost Spell for Bestials. Not just for Bestials, but also for this interruption. You know, I hit a fountain with this. It was very clutch. Lab as well. We have Scattershot, never came up, never went to time. We don't want to go to time. We play 1 Harpies because every single deck in the world does. We play the other tactics. You side in going second against Cash, for example. We play the other Book of Moon. Basically, I had 1 spot left in my side and in my main at the end of the, when I was trying to figure it out. I said 1 Book of Moon in each for purely. We get 3 Cosmic. We get Called By for Shifter, but also against Chimera Branded, the Mirror Sword Knight. If you have this and they normal and they activate Mirror Sword Knight and you Call By it, they are crying, okay? They are crying. Same thing with Seals. Hitting Seals with that is crazy. Last card is Crime. Again, I want Omni Negates. But sometimes I didn't set it. Actually, one game I didn't set it, especially when you know they have Bestials. And especially when you have a way to send a Rhino Heart. Because what can happen is you can let them Bestial you. I usually don't even shuffle. It's fine if you Bestial me. And then what happens is you can activate Celiac, for example, or Rukalos. You send the Rhino effect summon and dump Crime. Crime can add back your banished card back. If that's a Havness, which you always send first, you now have a live Havness, and they're crying. And you know, obviously setting the Crime is nice, but if you need a monster in hand, which is really hard. My matchups are, if you don't mind, I'll let you know who I played. Live Twin Sprite, Chimera Branded, Unchained, Flu, Branded Pure, another Chimera Branded, Salamangreat, that was the game I lost, and Manadium. So yeah, and the reason I didn't play Super Poly, I think it's a -2. Game 2 I played against Imad, he was top 32 at Nats. I tactics to look at his hand after he rolled me. I saw he had Super Poly, it didn't even matter. Say no problem, you keep it. Super Poly my Recalcitrant comes right back. You make a Mud Dragon or whatever you make. You just use 2 cards, and sure you got rid of a card of mine, but when I was doing it to other people, I found it wasn't enough. You need all 5 cards in your hand. Droll, sometimes -1. Shifter, you shifter me and pass on Fenrir, Rhino Heart, Soul Lake Meta Noise. It's -1. So anyway.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for the profile. Congrats again. Any final words?
Nope. Shout out to everybody I shouted out, and play to your pure.
Awesome. Thank you.
I love you, Yousef.